Hey, hello again. Yeah, back to me now because this book I'm writing isn't about me. So I have to include little bits and pieces um, that give a little background on myself. After I'm finished with this, and it's not going to be huge, there's going to be a lot of things in this book that I can go deeper on. And the reason I didn't is because I think personally, people don't want to read a bio of me. There'll be pieces and parts in here that I can expand on later in other books because some people may be interested in those aspects and those things that happen. But a short way to put it and how it all kind of starts with me on this path of transcending, which you're going to hear just over and over on this channel. On my other channel, I talk about bicycles. That's Tectonic Traveler with two L's. Um, so I'll just go right back to 3 years ago last week, laying in a hospital bed in Bogota, Colombia, and I had spent a year in Colombia. And I went down to bicycle in the mountains of Colombia originally. I took my bike, which is not this bike, it's the other bike that's still there, and along with the other bags and everything. And long story there, but hospital. I think each little subject here could be a book, but why I was in the hospital, we'll talk about more later. But what I'll start with is from the hospital bed to here right now. And what I call that, for me, my definition of transcending and getting over from there in the hospital bed to here and all the obstacles that I had to face rehabilitating, recovering, and getting back to me, but not back to the old me, back to me. And I'm still the same me, of course, but I left a lot of myself in Colombia. And when I returned to Colombia, uh, that self is gone from there too. So dissolved. And that's going to be an interesting subject. Hard for me to talk about, really. And I can just let out bits at a time of that whole experience up to the hospital bed. And believe me, that's a long list of videos because I couldn't do it all in one or two. So we're starting from the hospital bed to here, and it's badass. That's all I can say. I'm here. You know, like I said, I wouldn't be here if it wasn't for my family, um, which is a very little small family. A couple of friends that I could count on one hand, and it really that whole experience, like, just conveyed to me, opened the curtain on who my friends really were. So, um, ending up in Colombia, bicycling, spending a year. I would say 4 months of the year were just fantastic. I was bicycling in beautiful places, and it was COVID time, so it was a ideal time for everything that was going on with me internally to manifest. And I'm glad I did it there instead of here. And now I've made it back alive. So, yeah, in the book, I'm talking about the lessons and what I call tools. You know, a carpenter has a tool bag, a mountaineer, a climber has his tools that he uses, she uses. Um, the sailor has his instruments and tools. There's tools for every trade, and the tools to get through life are the lessons. Those are the lessons. And the two things I like to discuss in my book or in my videos is aspiration and application, and how you learn, how you use lessons, and if you use them. A lot of people say, well, sure, I learned a lesson there. Boy, I learned a lesson. How many times have you heard that? But did you apply the lesson? This goes to kind of a Buddhist thing that I learned. I'm not a Buddhist, but I've been around a lot of them. Tibetan Vajrayana Buddhists, to be exact. And what I learned was, for me, throughout that time, um, was that one lesson. So, what we put into it, we don't get much back for a long time, but it does come back eventually. The hard work, the lessons get applied. And I sat pretty stagnant for about 2 years until I could get back into writing again and doing the things that I used to do before my manifestation and being in a hospital. It wasn't a psychiatric hospital, by the way. Close enough. So, I have to draw upon those lessons. I aspired to learn those lessons. Now I'm applying them. I hope that makes sense. Um, since I started doing that, uh, I don't know, man. It's all in here. A bunch of miracles. I don't write down every miracle. How could you? Because there's a million of them every day. But the ones that are profound, um, I write about in here because they happened. They happened the other day with this card my daughter gave me. So those are the miracles. Those are the small victories that are actually the biggest. Just a little envelope changed everything. Now that goes into my book. Everything just kind of falls together. The good things that have happened since I've really been practicing what I practice in this book, which is vibration and energy. And it sounds all new age to you probably. But it exists, it's real, everybody knows. We don't have any debate. There's no misinformation on energy. We know it's there, vibration, in your voice, everything you do. So I've always worked with that in a way, but then now I'm practicing where it's become a habit. Some might say, well, it's a obsession. Well, it's a personal thing that no one really notices, because if you noticed it, the only thing you would notice is I kindly walk away from any sort of tension. And those are the things that have helped me a lot. Every time I do this, it's contagious with someone else who's under stress without them even knowing it. They're already unexplainable. Actually, it's explainable. It's all here in the book, and I'll talk about it. I think what I'm going to do is each chapter I'll make a video, and I think that's, since this isn't a book to make money for me, it's something that I had to do now. Seeing all the lonely people and just all the people that are under anxiety and stress and fear, and I have a healthy sense of fear, but I don't absorb and look for the exterior uh, junk, excess junk from like the TV and social media. I'm here making a video for you, but I'll upload the video and I may watch the video and maybe another video later this evening, but I'm not all day looking at the news. What are they doing with all the politics? Since I've removed myself from that, checked in on it to be aware of what's going on, I'm not just ignoring it and it's a happy world out there. I'm absorbing this much in order to get enough information and for me to get back out on the bike and work my body, meditate in the saddle here. Those are the things that I do. A day later, something good happens. Bad things happen all the time, right? But more good things happen the more of this good energy I'm putting out there. And here I am. I don't care about money, the videos, the book. What I care about is somebody out there who may be going through that time where I was in Colombia, down on this world because of COVID and all the narrative that was happening and still is tenfold. But don't you worry. Faith, your moral compass, and keeping busy with things that empower you, not things that drain your energy, things like that. Anything draining your energy, if it's a sick relative or you're sick or something within your family, this is a different story here, right? We're gonna absorb that naturally. That's our family, friends, uh, but external excess junk, I would say, is probably the killer right now. And there's so many lonely boys and girls out there, men and women, and I'm feeling strong from my experience. That whole thing and what I went through from the hospital bed to here has changed my life by the way I feel, and also my diet. If you don't feel good, your gut doesn't feel good, you feel like shit, you're not going to be fun to be around, and you're not going to have a good day. So try as hard as you can. You may be sick, you may be ill, you may have a disease. I understand that part. So there's the ways that you're dealing with those things. But here and here, if there's any way you can stay away from the excess external junk, your life heals a little bit more. It heals a lot. You can heal yourself by removing yourself from all of that. I'm not a psychiatrist. I'm not a doctor, but I know from what I feel. And the people that I'm around that do what I do and keep moving, movement is everything. If you can move, move. You can move at all. I don't care if you can move 10 feet or 5 feet, move. But if you can move hard, move harder, move the distance. And again, it's made me stronger. Now I feel like with this writing, I can help. And some people go, "Oh, I don't need that. I already know all that stuff." And you probably do. More than likely, you know everything in here, in your gut, in yourself, and you're centered. You know this stuff. I'm just reminding myself. It's like a handbook for me. As a matter of fact, that's what I'm calling this thing. Transcending. I've written all over the front cover. I'm calling it, after I finish the Across Dark Times and Dangerous Obstacles, first edition, Transcending Handbook series. What the hell? Because I'm going to carry that with me as a reminder. Some of the stuff I wrote, I could never write again. I'm not channeling, I'm just writing from experience. And that's why you save stuff, right? I have a stack. This is actually originally a stack about that big, but it's refined and it's written in the diamond way, cut straight through right to the point. And that's why I don't get personal in here. I don't tell the story behind why I learned that lesson, but I will as we move along through the videos and through the book. And yeah, thanks for listening. We're going to start from there. And then, we're going to go through the chapters, like I said. Why am I using a glacier as a metaphor? I think that's a good one. Because to understand how a glacier works, what I'm talking about here, what I walk around on, what I used to walk around on all day for days on end, what it is, and why I'm connecting those two parallels. Don't wait for others to change. A bunch of them. I think we'll do that one next. The departure. packing up your bags, and you're not really packing up your literal bags, but your lesson tool bag, and you're getting ready for an adventure. A venture across. What across what? Well, I made it to here from there, and now I've got to get out there in that vast rest of my life. And those are the places where I'm going to apply all the tools as I move across alone. Because even though I'm going to be with people and around people, ultimately I'm alone in this quest to move across all that dark stuff down there, all the excess junk. And what we'll do in this book and in these videos is we'll talk about moving across and what that means to me and how it relates to, getting through life's journey and making it fun. It's gonna suck sometimes, so you got to make it fun. All right, thanks for listening.